Let's talk some more about transactional control. What is a transaction? A transaction is either a single or many commands, or a block or multiple blocks within SQL where we can maintain transactional control. What does this really mean? What it means is that you can execute a sequence of DML SQL statements without committing the data. What this means is that you could, for instance, execute a number of SQL statements which change data, all have dependencies or interdependencies between the different SQL statements. If something happened that caused you to want to force a rollback, you would actually roll back all of those commands as a group. At the end of the transaction, when you're satisfied with it, you could actually commit all of those changes as a group. That is the idea or the concept behind transactional control. Transactional control allows you to control the storage or the abortion of multiple SQL statements. There are a number of transactional control commands. The first one is commit. The second one is rollback. Another is save point, and save point is really a label to redirect control within a transaction. What does commit do? Commit stores. Commit stores any changes, saves the changes to the database. Rollback will undo any changes that are not yet committed within a session. Note that commit and rollback work based on sessions. If one person goes in one session and changes something and doesn't commit it, a second person in a different session trying to look at those changes will not see those changes until they are committed or rolled back. Well, obviously the person in the second session won't see any changes that are rolled back because they're rolled back, they're not committed, they're not stored. Save point is an interesting command. It really allows you to set up a label within a sequence of SQL commands and allows you to roll back to that label if you want. In other words, you can execute a whole lot of SQL commands that do a lot of changes, and somewhere along the way within the transaction you reach a condition that requires you to roll back a part of the command. This is what save point will allow you to do. Set transaction is a statement which allows you to set certain attributes for a transaction. Set transaction command has specific syntax. The default values are read write and read committed. In other words, if you do not execute a set transaction command, every set of SQL commands blocked in between commit or rollback commands will automatically be read write and read committed. You can change the isolation level. What do we mean by isolation level? It's best to explain isolation level based on the settings read committed or serializable. Read committed implies waiting for the release of locks. In other words, person A goes in and changes something, person B goes into a different session and tries to change the same thing. Whilst person A has not committed, person B cannot do anything with the changes that person A has done. Therefore, person B will wait until person A commits. Serializable is a different form. Person B will not wait for locks, it will not wait for release of locks, or commit or anything. It will simply abort the transaction.